And up next here, I mean, not much to say about this one. Obviously, we got maybe by the time this fight comes off, the biggest favorite in the history of the UFC with Payton Talbott taking on Yanis Ghemmouri. And obviously, I mean, I'm not going to be the guy that goes out there and picks Yanis Ghemmouri. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be one or two people that do that, but it's hard to give a hot take here. I mean, I will say I do think the fight's probably going to go over 1.5 rounds. I think that the Talbot to win in round one, it's like plus 110 or something. I feel like that line's a little bit of a trap line. If I was you guys, I wouldn't bet that. I would bet this round two, round three, maybe even the decision, because Talbot has never gotten a finish in the first. If you look at his whole career, I know his last fight with Cameron Simone, he almost finished him early, but I think Simone came out hard, was gunning to get the stoppage and kind of go out there and show that he was that new guy, not Talbot, and it played out the way it did. Whereas with Yanis Ghemmouri, I think he's going to be more playing the survival game in this fight. You look at Talbot, obviously we know what he's all about pretty much at this point. Very dynamic striker, throws to all parts of the body, high volume. He's a marauder. He's a freaking tank. The guy could take extreme damage, keep coming forward, and elite cardio. His wrestling is a little bit suspect, but seems like you can't wrestle him for 3 rounds just because he's too dynamic and too good of an athlete, and his cardio is just too good. And Yanis Ghemmouri, I mean, I think he's going to come in here and he's going to be trying to stay away from striking pretty much, be really minimal with the stand-up, kind of very point fighter-ish, and then try to clinch and get some takedowns. And I think he's going to be not engaging as much, and that's why I see this fight going longer and potentially going to the second or third. But I don't see a lot of path to victory for Ghemmouri. I just don't think he's going to be able to control or even hit very many takedowns. And if he does and wins the first, I think that'll be all he can muster. And I feel like, his last stoppage loss wasn't real. He got whatever you want to say. It was kind of a borderline nut shot where they called it a TKO stoppage. But I have seen him get hurt in other fights. And I just don't think he's going to have that dog in him to stay in there when Talbot really turns up the heat. And I don't think many guys are in that division. So I think the run continues with Talbot 2-3 getting the finish. And he's going to, keep the train rolling here.